For the people who are here for the first time, just to connect the whole framework, it's all about the ingredients. What are the ingredients that we need to go to the next level? Following and considering the theme that we as human beings never stay stagnant. We don't like status quo. We always want to go to the next level. Next level in everything, be it career, be it growth, be it information, be it relationship, everything. We have advanced, isn't it? If you look at the process of evolution, right from the dark ages till now, we have evolved. In that process of evolution, we need some skills, we need some tools, we need something to simply take us to the next level. In that series, we are literally going through the ingredients that we as human beings needs to have. And in those ingredients, in first talks or in previous talks, we have discussed about what is possible, what are the potentials, what are the tools or areas that we need to tap into so that we can move easily. And the highlighted theme is life is easy. So we are following that framework that life is easy, and we are simply adding all the ingredients to see how we can make life easy. In that same series, I have suggested that you literally make a highlight word, which is life is easy, and keep on affirming it to yourself. You will notice that there will be 10,000 different dialogues which is coming from within you, which will tell you why life is not easy. Literally list down all those internal dialogues, why life is not easy. That's the journey, that's the decisions and choices that you would be making in a different way. Those are the areas. It could be relationships, it could be health, it could be growth, it could be beliefs, it could be values, it could be my compulsions or all my behaviors which are automated. So automaticity, which has happened already in my life, which is being programmed. Now I am taking charge and consciously making a different choice where things are not happening automatically. I am making changes. So mindfulness is a big part of the whole ingredients that we are looking into. Now, as we are talking about emotional intelligence, towards the fifth talk today, we have a lot of versions of emotional intelligence, because as we already agree that it is a trending topic, everybody is speaking about it, not only in the corporate, but also in the personal lives. We need this because this is the point where we are going to the next level of evolution in the whole journey of human beings. And we have integrated a whole lot of things. We have advanced in a lot of things. We have advanced in psychology. We have advanced in the physiology itself. We have a lot of awareness nowadays, and this ingredient, which we call as emotional intelligence, is the essence, the necessity, right from day one. We have been aware about this, we have not been aware about this, this is a different story, but this is the essence, this was the essence, and this will be the essence in coming times. Unless and until you add this to your lives, you will notice that there is still something missing. So as I said that there are many versions, there could be many versions. There are many different books, publishers, authors. There are many philosophical debates around this topic, and there are many theories around this topic. And the whole thing is all about a journey, a basic framework which I always speak about, the framework which starts with my awareness of what I don't know. So that at the first level, let's say I don't know certain things, and that not knowing itself is creating some unease in me or dis-ease in me. So what I do is I explore what is creating this disturbance within me, what is creating this dis-ease in me, and the moment you are aware of it, you try to explore, okay, what are the points, what are the areas if I fix, I can simply come back to ease. In that zone, as you move, the movement is all about, let me learn those things and make it as a habit and make it as my second nature. So emotional intelligence as a topic, or as the awareness, or as the tool, it's a journey from being aware to becoming. So let's say if I read 4 or 5 books on emotional intelligence, I read 10 different kind of research surveys, I can simply go through forums, I can simply gather all those information which I can simply lecture also, let's say. So I have data of 1 hour, 2 hour of lecture just on the same topic. Can I call myself emotional intelligent? So this is where is the journey about learning, knowing, and becoming. So unless and until I become that, I cannot consider myself as emotional intelligent. So this topic itself, this emotional intelligence itself is such, or can be put in that zone wherein just information not enough.
So becoming as in applying.
Applying, it should become your habit. It should become the second nature of you. So you should be becoming whatever we are talking about today. So all the things, all the tools, all the ingredients, all the awareness that I'd be sharing today, it's a journey of becoming that. So it's not about, okay, I know this.
Yeah.
I can, share this. I can contribute this. I can lecture on this one. It's not about that. It's about becoming that. All the time I always give, open options for intentions. And now I'm setting the intentions here. So let's set this intentions today. And I'll tell you why I'm pushing towards this. Because this is the essence of learning. This is the essence of reprogramming yourself. Because as we have moved to the talk 5 today, I'll be opening up new doors, new dimensions, wherein I'll be giving new tools to literally change your already, set beliefs or hardwired systems of beliefs. Whatever we were carrying and it's not helping us. In order to change those beliefs, in order to open that door, in order to literally perceive things in a different way, these intentions are very, very necessary. So let's just repeat these intentions once and agree to this. Okay? So the first intention is surrender. I am ready, willing, and able to surrender to the intention of collective consciousness. Can we do that? I want you to repeat this to yourself once so that your ears can hear that. Let's do this. A little bit louder so that you yourself can hear that. The second point is to explore. I am willing to try out new ideas, actions, habits, and approaches. I want you to emphasize on the word willing. I am willing. A little bit louder so that your ears can hear that. I will participate respectfully to create safe place for everyone. Here the emphasize or the word to highlight is everyone. Yeah? I will share authentically and truthfully all the time. It's like taking that oath, And this is the thing that you are repeating. This is for your life. This is what we are trying to become. This is not that you are reading it, but this is the journey where you are literally telling yourself that this is what I am going to become. I will complete all assignments diligently during and after the workshop. So every homework that I have given you by till now and the homeworks that I will be giving you today, I will demonstrate an open attitude to learn and absorb at all the times. So these are the things and intentions which are essentials of life. By following this, you will be opening a door for learning and evolving, and the theme of growing rather than decaying. Yeah? So we were speaking about this in the previous talks, that it's a theme of either you grow or you decay. So these are the points wherein you integrate to grow. I will switch off my phone, laptop and stay focused in the workshop. So anyways, we are here focused. We are a small group of people here at the moment. So distractions are very less. How do you feel when you are speaking this to yourself? How does it sound to you? Willingness. You feel that, yes, I am willing to do that. How is it if you apply this to your life?
Wonderful.
Wonderful, isn't it? So I'm not talking about just this 1.5 hours. These are the things that we are going to apply for life. This will be the attitude towards the journey, which we call as life, learning, accepting, and taking things as they come your way, being in the flow or staying in the flow. To achieve anything, there are only 3 points. The first point is it possible? So this is the questions that we are asking ourselves. Is it possible to do whatever you have in life? Anything that you feel like, I should be doing this, I can do this, check if it is possible. Second, am I able to do this? The third point is very important. Am I worthy? This is the self-worth, a sound that comes within you. Possible, able, worthy. So if you have a check mark, tick, 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 yes, I am able to do this, yes, it is possible, I am worthy for this one, you will achieve it effortlessly. Let's start with the structure that we are. On the cellular level, we are this 80 billion neurons and trillions of cells within the body. And on the cellular level, we are all one. We all belong to this planet, isn't it? Where are we coming from? Where is this physical body coming from? Coming from the planet, isn't it? Whatever we are eating, be it an apple or chicken, it's becoming us. Where is that apple and chicken coming from? Again from the planet, isn't it? It's a beautiful intelligence that converts itself into fruits, beings, plants, everything that you see on this planet, living and non-living, it's part of this planet. And when it decays, it goes back to the planet. So on that cellular level, the sense of belonging is all about I belong to the planet, and everything that belongs to the planet belongs to me. So let's say everybody who is here in this hall are same on cellular level. Even though we are coming from different nationalities, different colors, different features, different languages, but we are all one on the cellular level. The first ingredient of the resonance and sense of belonging, which will increase or take your tolerance to the next level. We do mistakes, isn't it, as an individual? Do we tolerate ourselves or not?
Yes. But we don't tolerate others.
Because the sense of belonging is not yet there. The first steps or the ingredient essence of emotional intelligence is we create that sense of belonging. That I belong to this whole collective consciousness, and the collective consciousness vibrates in me and I am one. So if somebody does anything, I acknowledge that I do mistake, and also mistakes can happen by people. Human beings will do mistakes, isn't it? Robots will not. The second point in this whole human consciousness, these are the principles actually, the principles of the consciousness that we are. So the consciousness, we as human beings, as I said, we are always moving to the next level of existence. We don't stay stagnant. Okay? And as we are moving, we always add meaning to life. And this meaning is the thing that is creating each and everything in your life. Your choices, your decisions, your relationships, your movements, your resonances, everything is all about the meaning that I give, isn't it? And the biggest meaning, as we were discussing right from day one, is about yes and no. No means what? Yes means what? What meanings have we added to lives? We have added some meanings to yes and no, isn't it? If some person is coming from a certain nationality, looking at me with this facial features means my boss screaming at me with this tonality means people aggressive towards me means saying something about something, expressing their opinion means. So we give meanings to each and everything, isn't it? And with the meanings comes emotions, isn't it? As we have just noticed, just one word without any meaning, because meanings were unconsciously there in the background and the emotions were happening. And similarly, the meanings that we have given, which are already programmed within us, generates emotions. So next time, whenever you are going through any emotion, be it angry, be it aggressiveness, irritation, agitation, whatever emotions are there, check what is the meaning behind that. Because that meaning is generating the emotion. And as in the development, we are developing new skills, new techniques, new capabilities and we have discussed in details what creates our capabilities and abilities. Let me repeat that again. The moment we identify ourselves, that means a meaning that is given to my identity generates my capability and ability automatically. For example, if I identify myself as a soldier, all the capabilities and abilities that a soldier has, holding a gun and firing, would be easy for me. If I identify myself as a doctor, holding a scalpel, which would be much more efficient and easy for me. So we have seen many experiences, and we had some discussions also wherein people belonging to certain fields and not resonating with that, not identifying themselves with that, are not able to perform in that particular area efficiently. So capabilities, abilities, identity that we give to ourselves, very important. The next ability or a capability that we as a human beings have is verbal and non-verbal communication. What communication do you think is more effective, verbal or non-verbal? Non-verbal? Let's have opinions. What do you think? Verbal communication is more efficient and stronger, or non-verbal communication is more effective and stronger?
Can be both.
Can be both. Should be mixture of both. We are looking for opinions. Nothing is right and wrong. Both. Both.
Both are required.
Both are required. Both are required. Okay. Let me put the question in a different way. What will create clarity or confusion? Verbals or non-verbals? So I am looking for clarity in communication, in understanding, in giving meanings to A, B, C, X, Y, Z. What would I be looking for? A non-verbal communication or a verbal communication? Verbal? Words. Yeah, and it's different for different people. Nothing is right or wrong. Again, we resonate differently. So some people look for verbal communication to get clarity. Some people, even though they are listening to the words, they will be looking at the facial features, body language. You'll see if they are saying something, do they resonate or not? Because people may be saying something and not resonating with that. Isn't it? This is the exploration as an individual in each and every one of us. You simply find your resonance. How do I resonate? Do I listen to the words and judge and give meanings, or do I look at the non-verbal cues and decide? Both are the capabilities as a human beings, and as per the sensitivity, we resonate with these things. So these are the ingredients that we are talking about. Self-communication. How do you communicate with yourself? The internal dialogues within your head. Is it empowering you? Is it motivating you? Is it demotivating you? Is it giving you the energy, or is it draining your energies? Internal dialogues. It's a communication with yourself, isn't it? So when we say communication, it's not just about we are communicating to the people around us, but communicating with ourselves. I want you to just contemplate and think about it and just let me know. What amount of time are we communicating with ourselves, and what amount of time are we communicating with the others? What is more?
With the others.
With the others?
Mostly.
Mostly we are communicating with the others. And our being, our consciousness, our behaviors are fully programmed by that communication, which is external in nature. What amount of time do you give to yourself as an individual to have that internal communication? Do we give? Do we have that time? We are always occupied with the others. And I'm asking, I'm not saying something, I'm asking whether we have this, whether do we give time to ourselves? Do we communicate with ourselves?
About yourself.
We forget about ourselves when we are mostly in the external communications. So communication with ourselves is poof. If something wrong is happening, there are external stimuli which is doing certain things to me, rather than me communicating with myself. And as we are communicating with the others, mostly is it reactive, compulsive, or conscious and proactive? How many times are we reacting? How many times we are?
Time.
All the time we are.
Whole time.
Whole time, most of the time we are reacting. Yes. So if you look into the ingredients, and this is what we have been actually discussing in last talks also, when we react, why do we react?
Because of our experience, the past.
From the past experiences, exactly. So we have some past experiences, that's why we react a lot. And those experiences, most of the time, they are painful, isn't it? So painful experiences, and your body, each and every cell of your body wants to survive, wants to thrive, wants to be happy. So it seems or feels or perceives the situation around the whole system as danger. And you react, isn't it? So the perception of everything around me is not safe.
We mostly remember the bad things, negative.
Mostly remember the bad things and negative things. Or if I put it in another words, it would be I remember everything that is still unresolved. Resolved things we don't remember, isn't it? Whatever is resolved, whatever is gone, happiness which have been experienced, all gone. We don't remember that. What we remember is all those things which are not yet unresolved. They are unresolved. They are still in the zone of I didn't had the closure. I have not went out my anger properly till now. I wanted to punch someone, didn't happen, isn't it? Take this as ingredients. We are exploring the zone. These are the areas that are impacted if you have emotional intelligence and if you don't follow the framework of emotional intelligence. Decision making on daily basis, how assertive you are, your time, because most of the time is consumed in calculations within your head, reacting, non-resolved issues which are in a loop. You are not finding a resolution or a solution. And in that loop, you are simply consuming the whole time. Tolerance, how you tolerate people. What's the level of tolerance, acceptance? Empathy, stress, and how you tolerate the change that is happening around you and how you tolerate the stress. Stress within you, the stress which is given to you from external stimuli or sources. Your social skills, your anger management, your accountability, the essence of trust that you have within you and around you, the people that you trust. So these are again the areas of impact. Drawing a line between I am emotionally intelligent, I am emotionally non-intelligent. So these are the areas this will be impacted immediately. Let's say we have evolved right from day one till now. Yeah? So this is a general evolutionary process. You have started from there around, I can't even see the numbers. So we are talking about the journey. We are talking about, let's say, dark ages, cavemans, hunters and gatherers, and then developing inhibitions, going into certain things to make life easy. Generally, all the effort, all the things, inhibitions, securities, differentiations, boundaries, all those things to make life easy, to create more safety. And we have reached till AI, isn't it? Why people are looking into emotional intelligence, why it is becoming a necessity, because of the complexity, the globalization and speed of change. Again, to emphasize that one thing, speed, and we have discussed in last talks that with the speed in our life and at the pace of speed that life is changing, we have lost the depth in everything. We have achieved the speed at the cost of depth. So our intention is to simply bring mindfulness into the zone, emotional intelligence and all those things that we have been talking about to bring that depth. Rising level of stress and mental illnesses, redefining what it means to be a successful manager, looking from the manager. So now manager is not just a corporate manager. In life you are managing your families, isn't it? Your friends, your families, your circle, inner circle and external circle. So somehow you are managing your life. In that, as you are a manager, you are leading, you are guiding, you are suggesting, you are doing a whole lot of things. Because there is a need of mindfulness nowadays. things have gone into a zone of automaticity. A whole lot of things are automated. Life is also automated in some way. And then people are coming with the disorders, diseases, mental disorders, stress, anxiety, depression, and a whole list of autoimmune and psychosomatic disorders, because things have become automated. And automaticity brings insecurity as an individual, not as a, it may be automatic cars are much more easy or automated things are making life easy, but as the survival mechanism which is there in your body, it looks for certain things which should be having the depth. If there is no depth in things, things have become meaningless for us, it becomes suffocating. 15-20 years, IQ was the trending thing. The managers, the leaders, the qualities that were looked in a managers and leaders were IQ. How much IQ you have, how much intelligent you are, how much calculation capacity you have, how much capacity of resolutions or conflict management you can do. Those things were looked upon. But still they have come up with, after adding all those ingredients, they are still not happy. Productivity is still happening with absenteeism. A whole lot of mental illnesses, mental disorders, mental problems have come to the surface. So that's where the whole research came in. What can be done more? That's where they came to a point that until and unless you connect to your employees, to the family members, to the society around you with emotions, things won't be in a good space. So you'll still be having stress and depression and anxieties. So the solution could be emotional connection. Within the family, within the society, people used to connect from heart to heart. They used to understand the emotions. Some neglected people were there for sure as an exception. Suppression was there, but there was a beautiful support system. Within the families, there were elders to guide. Isn't it?
I guess that they are predicting that by 2020, each person will be on
Exactly.
his own, and that's why you get
The more you get away, the more you are separating, the more depression you will get. This is the essence of everything. Why we are bothered, why we are looking into this dimension, because it's all connected. Your thought, your emotion, your vibrations, your physical body sensations and behaviors, everything is interconnected. If you look into your daily lives, what creates or generates your emotion? Most of the time, what are those things? Are they just thoughts or something more than thought that generates emotion? Everything starts from the thought. Check. What else? Actions. Yes, they are in the loop. Your actions, your behaviors. So we are looking into what generates emotions. Provocations, yes. So whatever is stimuli towards me. Yeah. So a stimuli, a certain reaction towards me, which creates a certain thought, or I am reacting without a thought, which is already programmed within me. So they are basically memories, experiences, thoughts, which are programmed deep down, generating a thought at any given point of time, and I am generating an emotion. So I want you to see emotions as the shadows of your thoughts. If shadows are the objects, emotions are the shadows of the thoughts. What is the mechanism to enter into a coping mechanism? Where you are not finding a support system, where you are not finding a resolution or a solution, where you are finding that every second thing is inhibition rather than expression. So a whole lot of suppression is there. The moment suppression is there and expression itself becomes insecure, that is where you find a way to cope up. And every suppression, when you are saying coping, means suppressing. Every suppression will generate an emotion, and that emotion could be translated from the body or through the diseases in the body. And your energy at any given point of time defines what your emotion is. You should not cope up from day one. This is the whole agenda. This is what I am working upon, that people have a lot of coping mechanisms nowadays. Because we have been trained, we have been taught, we have been encouraged. And now also we encourage people that, okay, at any given point of time, we don't have a solution. Please cope up for some time. Could be a better version, rather than cope up, keep coping up, until you die. That's the disease. The life journey should be about, okay, let me cope up now. Let's say I have a broken bone. Till I go to the hospital, I cope up somehow. But I'll find the resolution. I'll find the solution for that. But the tragedy is, I'm coping up and keep coping up. And there is no solution for that. And I simply keep all those coping mechanisms as experiences of my life. This is what I have learned from my life. Life is a struggle. People are like this. Life is always tough. So these are the experiences that comes out of whatever I have coped up with. So the journey is all about to find a resolution, find a solution. Because this is all integrated. In, let's say, in 2021, as a consciousness, we are talking about, we are here as an adolescent. So 4 million BC or 4 million years back, we would have, let's say, we were born at that time as a consciousness, as a whole consciousness moving forward. And in 6000 BC, we were infants, developing. So as in the process of evolution, if you look into the history, we were growing up. We were infants in those times. And 6000 BC to, let's say, 1500 AD, which is around 5 to 1000 years back, we were just a child as a consciousness. Everything that we have experienced, learned, integrated into the systems, governances, industrial revolutions, IT, AI, whatever we talk about, we are just a child. And as we are growing towards the AI, the scientific and technological revolutions and evolutions that we are moving into, religion, everything included in that, we are still not mature as a consciousness. It's still a journey. We are still moving. Acknowledging this point would make life easy. Because at every point, I'm not talking that now we are doing this, but at every point in that whole journey, always humans thought that, yes, we have achieved it. I know it. I am experienced now. I know it all. My theory, my beliefs, my values. I am experienced. If you ask me anything, I'll give you the right thing, the truths. These are the truths of life. That life is difficult, isn't it? What are these things? Experiences, isn't it? And the distortion in that is, I know. This is where I want to bring this awareness here at this point, that please consider yourself as not yet matured as a consciousness. We are not yet there. Every experience that we have, every whatever we say is wisdom, is still in the age of adolescence, towards maturity. And we hope that in coming another 500,000 years, we will be entering into that zone of adult or maturing, provided we add the right ingredients. That's why today, we and the whole community and everywhere on the planet, we are talking about integrating the emotions into our daily lives. Yeah? And we will keep on evolving. We'll add more and more things to that. As in the day 1 or 2, I think we have discussed about the whole awareness expansion, wherein physical body, mind consciousness, subconscious consciousness, intellectual consciousness and emotional consciousness integrated with that, we are moving towards the spiritual consciousness. So that would bring the whole consciousness into a flow. So with this one, as I started with, we are trying to or looking into becoming, not just listening. So this is the point that I want you to integrate, that no matter whatever my experiences are, still not to the level of I know it fully or 100%. It's about you. You have this opinion. Wow, what an opinion. Your point of view, as per you, awesome. Start with that. And then acknowledge the individuality and the diversity, and acknowledging the collective consciousness that we belong and everything belongs to us. That sense of belonging itself will be the first step towards the emotional intelligence. And I'll give you the hierarchy of all those things. But just to sum up this one, it's about, again, as we have discussed, I think Sharif and Rima, who is attending from day one, would remember, it's about the theme of creation. In the theme of creation, or if we look at this angle from the dimension of what is the theme of creation, you will be looking at the information, the experiences that I go through as an individual and adding it to the collective consciousness. They have n number of, they have been conducting different experiments wherein they have seen the behavior that is being carried out in a certain part of the world is copy pasted in other parts of the world, or collectively copy pasted everywhere. 1000th Monkey is one of the 100th Monkey, I think, the book, which is the best example of monkeys who have learned a certain behavior in certain part of island have transferred this behavior automatically to other monkeys in other part of the whatever the locations that they were situated at. So it's all about whatever as an individual I develop in myself, I'll be adding it to the consciousness, and I'm getting affected by each and everything that is happening around me. So in this one, mindfully, I want you to note down these words: acceptances, ignorances, and rejections. So there are certain things that you accept, isn't it, in life? If it's not going your way, it's not happening your way, or you have to accept it like that, or whatever philosophy or phenomena comes with that, you are encouraged to accept it most of the time. Accept it as however it is. Accept like this, accept like that. Most of the time compulsions with that. Religion tells you sometimes financial limitations tells you, sometimes emotions will encourage you. Acceptances, isn't it? The second box would be ignoring, because somebody somewhere in some time they told you that ignorance is bliss. So you think that the moment I ignore, it will be blissful. Let me ignore it. So we ignore a whole lot of things, isn't it? And at the background we have this intention that, okay, if I ignore, move on. Third thing is rejecting. So we reject for n number of reasons. I'm not going into the details of that. Each and every individual, they know very well why do they reject things, why do they accept things, why do they ignore things. This itself will create a resistance and a security within to secure yourself and eliminate the others around you from your circle. And you will have an internal dialogue: nobody understands me. Because everybody is in their own pain. And on the other hand, you also don't understand the other people. It's same, isn't it? If you are saying that nobody understands me, you are also nobody, somebody in nobody's life. So if this wall can be if you can break this wall, wherein you are saying that nobody understands me and somebody is telling that you don't understand me, if this understanding can happen, this is where we are stepping on that first step of, okay, I understand you emotionally. So the mechanism of my emotions. When I get angry, why I get angry. When I get sad, why I get sad. When I get emotional, what is projecting those emotions? First, awareness within me. And with that awareness, I am simply inferring it for the others also. That if he or she is getting angry, he or she could be getting angry because that why is answered as an individual, as a group, as a community, as a country, as a nation. So if I understand that why emotions have been projected, that is where I am becoming emotionally intelligent. And then again, let me re-emphasize, it's not just about knowing. It's about becoming. That I become that. It's not that, okay, I know, and I am also trying to apply. Trying to apply doesn't work there. You have to become that. Unless and until you become a person who knows how you feel about yourself and how you know that others feel, and however the others are feeling, you know it. In this zone, you have a certain ingredients again. So most of the time, let's say, Afshan, I think you said that you are emotional person, yeah? The first approach, let's say you saw a person who is in pain, in misery. What would be your first emotions towards them? Sadness, pity, sympathy.
Yeah, pity's not a good emotion to have, but yeah.
Yeah. So let's say pitiful, sympathy, and let's say you are resourceful and you could do something about it. What will you do first? Help them. To what extent you will go? Let's say somebody is drowning in water, in a river or a swimming pool. You don't know the swimming yet. What will you do?
If you don't know how to swim, you have to go for help.
You have to call for help, yes.
If that's what happens.
Yes, yes.
You might put yourself in danger.
Yes.
If you don't know how to swim.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
you're going to cause more.
True. So this is where, this is the zone to understand. If you have pity for some people, it is similar to somebody is drowning in water and me jumping to experience how they are feeling. Because I also don't know swimming, let me jump in and experience how does it feel. And then both of you have to shout for help. Next comes sympathy. Sympathy is also the same zone. It's mostly related to the people who are around you. You will show the sympathy to show that yes, I am emotional, I am sympathetic, I am this. So your identification ego also comes into that place. The next zone, which is quite balanced, is the zone of empathy, wherein you are standing out, you are not jumping into the water to feel the pain. If you don't know or you know the swimming even, you are not jumping in, but you are bringing resources to help them standing outside. Because the basic zone is all about, I need to be resourceful to help anyone and everyone. So I am creating a zone of IQ, let's say, within me, to make myself resourceful first, having capabilities and abilities installed within me, learning the basic phenomena of emotional intelligence or how do I need to understand people, and putting yourself in a zone of empathy. Okay, I understand your emotion, but I will help you staying out. I will not jump into the water. Rather than accepting, first acknowledge. Rather than rejecting, first acknowledge. Rather than ignoring, first acknowledge. Acknowledgement is all about not jumping in. Before you jump in, you have an acknowledgement. The first thing that I do is I bring in mindfulness. So these are the main things that we are looking for when we are talking about becoming emotionally intelligent. So before we go into this one, I want to draw a beautiful line between emotions and intelligence itself. Emotions are reactive in nature, wherein we are not aware most of the time. We are reacting out of the survival mechanism that we are programmed with. Acknowledging the survival mechanism itself and acknowledging different dimensions within myself and coming from or adding the intellectual part to that. When I say intellectual part, it's about being mindful. It's about being understanding and acknowledging. It's about being giving the right of differentiation or celebrating the diversity. Acknowledging how unique and different you are and me accepting the difference that people are. And coming out of the zone of conflict, considering that every conflict will have my security at stake. Because this is what is happening. Most of the time what happens is there are a lot of layers of insecurities within me, and I am literally expanding these layers of insecurities upon people. This will happen, that will happen, though let me simply stay safe. I won't listen to you, I won't take your advice because you are dangerous. So in that zone, your insecurity is always, highlight this word, I want you to write this and keep yourself all the time reminding yourself with this one, that my insecurities are mine. I don't have to project my insecurities and pull people into my insecurities. Because this is what happens majority of the time. There are some certain insecurities that I am not sure about, and I am simply pulling everyone into my insecurities. I fear about ABC, XYZ. I fear that if I go there, people will, take advantage of me, or whatever insecurities are. list of all the insecurities that you have, where you think that people will take my advantage, I am something, I have placed myself here, I have put a lot of effort, people might snatch it, take it, or whatever. Those zones of insecurities, literally keep reminding yourself, my insecurities are my own. I need not project those insecurities on people.
What if you're trying to warn someone?
See, if you are trying to warn someone, then you are not in that zone of desperation. That is not insecurity when you are trying to warn somebody. That is your experience and your opinion. Be very clear in communicating your experience and your opinion. As you are framing the words, let's say towards children, or let's say the people who you love, always have that headline, my opinion is. Because your experience could be something else. Your output could be something else. Whatever I am saying is my opinion, my experience. In my experience, in my opinion, this is like this. You could avoid it and you could simply do something else. I am sharing my experience. So when you are communicating verbally, please have those highlights. And in this one, always remember about the language. We want to say something, we mean something, but automatically the vocabulary, the reactive vocabulary comes in a certain way. I'll break your head. To the children or in the office or in the workplaces, do you really mean to break the head? What do you mean behind that? You might mean to say that whatever you are doing was not right. I have been telling you again and again, you don't understand. I feel like, but the word that you are using is, now the people, if they are sensitive, they will take it literally. And this is what happens most of the time. And they will have that same word stuck in their mind. They will keep on narrating that same story to everyone. He said that he'll break my head. That is the only highlighted thing that they'll carry now. So I want you to contemplate on all those words that we say reactively, we don't mean it. Isn't it? All those things specifically when it comes in anger. All like bullets. And certain sensitive people will take it to the heart. They'll say, oh my God. She said that she'll kill me. They literally take it like she will kill you, and they are literally in, that zone of fear. So always be conscious and be mindful about what do you mean to say and what you are saying. In reactivity, you will say boom, 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 bullets. Be very, very clear and precise about whatever you want to or whatever you mean to say. So in this zone, of course, we will be coming up with, I think I'll take each and every topic and make it a talk itself. It would be, I'm aware about all these things that I'm saying within me and within the people. And the next zone is all about when I know this, when the awareness is there, I develop that awareness or take it to the next level. It's literally like I have just learned to write ABC. Will I stop there or will I go ahead? I'll start to write then apple, bad cat. Then I'll write prose. Then if I have the whole mastery of the language, I'll write poetry, isn't it? This is the whole essence, that whatever I start with, as an example of ABC, and I have the potential to make it a poetry, each and every area of your life, please integrate this. Start it with ABCs and take it to the pinnacle. Take it to the potential. That you start with unconscious incompetence and you move towards unconscious competent. So it's all about I don't know what I don't know. I don't even know what is creating disturbances or dis-ease in my system. Then the moment I know, I consciously learn and keep on enhancing and keep on going to the next level. And nurturing it, beautifying it, and taking it to the pinnacle that it can be. Then becoming that. So the journey with knowing what I don't know, learning the capabilities, skills, enhancing the capabilities and skills to the point that I become that. It becomes second nature. When I react, when I project my behavior, it becomes part of me. I become that person. I become emotionally intelligent. rather than me calculating or putting the things into zones of analysis and calculations and forcing yourself into that. So this is the essence of life. The intention is to develop the awareness and the strong foundation to accelerate your success in these 9 areas. When I say these 9 areas are actually the essence of life. It is as important as your food and water on daily basis. Most of the time we never consider this, but this is very, very important. This will create void and emptiness in you if they are not fulfilled. So those things are your emotions, your energy, your joyfulness on daily basis. What we call as harmony. Then finances, money. Check. Yes, check. check. How many things needs to be checked? Yes, question marks and needs to be checked. Now, as I always mention about the hierarchy, I think for the people who are here for the first time, the whole framework and the phenomena, the hierarchy is all about first feed, then educate, then comes the growth. So if you are putting growth first without feeding and educating, or you are jumping into education without feeding, so the hierarchy should be maintained, the ingredient and the process should be maintained. First feed. Nobody who sleeps empty stomach can wake up with creativity. You have to be fed first. Once that basic need is taken care, then you think about the first step is to educate. Once they have a proper education, awareness which is explored and awareness which is there to process, then you talk about growth. Then you talk about all these things. Then you talk about bringing beauty to life. Then you talk about process of evolution. Wisdom is again the essence, the intellectual dimension that we are. It requires that fulfillment of learning new skills, learning new techniques, learning new knowledge, informations, educations, everything. It is essence. It is very, very essential. If it is not there, it is similar to I am hungry. And when you are hungry, can you be creative? Can you grow? Can you do something good? You are fully focused on hunger or thirst. So these are just like that fulfillment of my hunger and thirst. Developing social skills and having a system that supports you. It could be friends, it could be your own education, it could be yourself supporting yourself, doesn't matter, but that needs to be integrated. A support system. Career simply means growth or moving forward. In life, either you grow or you decay. There is no stagnant point. The moment you stop means you are still decaying. So you keep growing up. There is no zone of status quo. The moment you are not growing means you are decaying. So continuous process of growth, continuous process of adding information, adding skills, adding capabilities and abilities to yourself is the journey towards fulfillment. Relationships, because we are a social animal, we need relationships. And in previous talks we have discussed this. Relationships are again essence of life, a fulfillment that needs to be there. If the fulfillment about the relationships is not there, then there is an emptiness and void. That void itself will take you into 10,000 different coping mechanisms. The relationships, if they are not proper, that is where the whole trending term of boundaries comes into the picture. The whole thing is all about, I am looking for one fixed relationship in life. Isn't it? Whoever it is, it could be your parents, it could be your friends, it could be your spouses. You are looking that fixed entity in them. They should be like this. Before marriage they were like this, after marriage also they should stay like this. Otherwise there's a whole zone of, you have changed totally. 5 years back you were like this, now you are a totally different person, isn't it? So that expectation of fixed relationship with variable entities. We are variables as a human being. Human beings are absolutely variable. We will change, we will keep on changing, we should change. If we are not changing means we are anyhow decaying. So as we are changing, but the expectation from this changing species to be fixed, our behaviors will change. Our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our priorities, our wants and needs, our perceptions, everything should change. If these things are changing, some people might say, oh, no, everything is changed. because they don't want to change. Certain people have this sensitivity in them. Change is dangerous for them. So in that way, why it is dangerous for them, it's a whole different story, but basically understand this, there is a void. The void of fixed essence. We are looking for, this is the yearning, this is the hunger, this is the thirst, that we are looking for something that should be fixed in our lives. Something that shouldn't change, something that I should depend on, something that I should literally rely upon. That one thing cannot happen with human beings. That's why that one spiritual connection is very, very necessary in life. And once you have that one spiritual connection, whatever you call it, God, Creator, if you have that one connection very, very strong, that zone of emptiness will be fulfilled. That is where you will be released of that hunger. That means, okay, I had the food. Now I will be creative. Now I will think about something else. Remember this. Always highlight this and keep reminding yourself. If I am hungry and if I want to be creative, something is there to be fulfilled and I want to do something else to grow. The growth will not happen until and unless I fulfill that. So this is the dimension of fulfillment. Relationships, one fixed relationship. I move into the creativity. This is also the essence. And it is literally like a chicken and egg. The people who are not privileged, who are not having those privileges to feed themselves in a proper way, and they are fully in that only zone of feeding themselves and not in the zone of everything that we are speaking about, they are also in the zone of that emptiness. The misery is all about we are not fulfilling the other dimensions. Yeah? So the creativity for them is not happening. The wealth, harmony, wisdom and growth is not happening. So there are emptinesses. So all these 9 dimensions are all about those emptinesses, those areas of fulfillments. These are the things that are in a loop in our system. And this loop is the thing that is literally creating all our projected behaviors. However we behave, whatever we do, however we react is happening just because of these 3 response mechanisms. And the first one is survival mechanism. Each and every cell of your body is all about protecting its own things. And that is what is translated as fight or flight mechanism most of the time. Your body wants to survive all the time. Physical body, the essence of the body. If you simply separate it with thoughts and emotions, your body with the cellular structure, it wants to survive only at all the costs, whatever it is. So if people are feeling suicidal, if they want to commit suicide, the body is still not in coherence with that. So body says, no, you do hell with your emotions and thoughts. The body wants to survive. In that survival mechanism, generally it goes into different coping mechanisms. So you might notice people who are afraid of heights, their legs automatically starts to shake. That shaking is not any disorder. It's not any weakness. It's the response of your survival mechanism, don't go to heights. Sometimes you might notice when you have a fearful event, people might faint. The system is switching off. Again, it's a survival mechanism which just to control the damage, it switches off and people faint. It's a system which is your best friend, a survival mechanism. Similarly, coping and defense mechanism also are the strategies that are adopted automatically or reactively. It could be psychological in nature, and it could add to your anxieties, depressions, and all the mental health disorders. So the awareness of and the question to yourself, whenever you feel stressed, anxious, or you are going into a zone of any mental disorder or mental health problems, check these 3 things. Am I coping? Is my defense mechanism is at work? Or only my survival mechanism, that is your body sensation, is hijacking the whole system? Self-talk, your beliefs, your emotions, your fears and anxieties, your insecurities, or however you perceive reality around you, your behaviors, the rules around you, the judgments that we create towards people. This is creating a resonance. How you gel with people or how you communicate with people. So if these ingredients are driving your communication or your understanding or your judgment with people, please have a second thought. And acknowledge that it is my self-talk within my head, my internal dialogues. Not anyone's issue, not anyone's problem. I need to be dealing with that. Nobody to be blamed for that. My self-talk, isn't it? Is my perception. This is how I see. It should be my issue, my problem. I should be solving it. My beliefs, my emotions. My fears and my anxieties are mine. This is known as owning the emotions. My emotions, mine. Let me own it. On the other hand, we can do, you are responsible for this is responsible for that. Country is responsible for that. Politics is responsible for this. My manager is responsible for that. My wife is responsible for this. Whatever. Yeah? So this is owning the emotion. I own it. It is mine and I should be dealing with it, not any other person's issue. On the external dimension, there are non-verbal behaviors of people, their facial reactions, their tone of voices, their body languages, their behaviors, their reactions is their problem, not my problem. Okay? Please draw a line between this. Everything which is inside, it could be the non-verbal behavior of people outside. So if somebody is reacting in a certain way, if somebody is having a certain facial expression which is projected towards you, it's not your problem. It's their problem. Acknowledge that. Because we generally take it to our identity. How can you look at me like this? What do you think about yourself? And the internal dialogue is, I think something about myself. Isn't it? So your skills, your physical presence of the other people around you is all their issue, their problem. Draw a line between that. What do you think if you draw this kind of thing, how life would be? If your issues are your issues, their issues are their issues. And we collaboratively or collaboratively work upon solving those things without judgment. Acknowledging that I am also a human being, everybody that I am interacting with, they are also human being. I am finite, everyone around me is finite. If I do mistake, everybody has the ability and capability to do mistake. If I am expecting tolerance, I tolerate too. Isn't it? Our expectation is people should tolerate me. People should forgive me. God should forgive me. Isn't it? Can we also do that? If you are expecting tolerance, can you tolerate? If you are expecting forgiveness, can you forgive?
Not instantly.
Yeah. No, it's over time, absolutely. I acknowledge with that. Again, nothing is instant. This is life. This is the whole problem. With the speed, we have lost the depth already. We are everything in speed, We have already lost the whole depth. Again, nothing instantly. I don't want you to wake up tomorrow and become a different person. No. It happens gradually. Every thought, belief, value, or whatever I think about myself, whatever I think about people around me, whatever I have been taught from schools, whatever I believe, whatever values I carry, or whatever is I am, or whatever I am projecting, is not a universal truth, is a perceptual truth. My own perception. It's not alpha and omega. It's not the full stop. It's not the end. It's the journey. It's in the making. So the story is all about the mechanism of how I see, how I hear, how I feel. I process it as per my conditioning, upbringing, education, my religion, my environment. I'm processing it according to my system. And what is getting projected is my behaviors, is all the outcomes, all those state of minds and emotions that I'm projecting because of all those things. So if you can give the signal to your mind, everything is there in the center of that box, is not fixed. It's not universal truth. It's a perceptual truth. And whatever is perceptual truth can be changed, should be changed, have to be changing, keep on changing. Yeah? Because my physical body is fully getting affected by those things. My heartbeat, my hormones, my biochemicals, my neurochemicals, my cellular structure, my memory, everything is getting affected because of those things, which are not universal truths in nature. So all my effects, every reaction, or my life is driven by something which is not true in the first place. Yeah? So it's my perceptual truth, a line between the universal truth and perceptual truth. If universal truths are defining your reality, very good. If perceptual truths are defining your reality, check. Pain or pleasure. If pain, it can be converted to pleasure.